Now, there's a couple myths out there that I want to expel. First of one, there's nobody in there anymore. So what's the point? The glasses. I made Jackie take her glasses off because so many people in our care go without their glasses. And we think, what's the point? They've got dementia. Now, the point is, if you have glasses, when you don't have them, you don't want to move. You certainly don't want to take a walk. So you're going to become less and less able and more dependent. As caregivers, we need to give them all the supports that they possibly can have. So we need to make sure they have their glasses on. And in nearly a decade of care, I have never, ever had one resident come up and say, "Where's my glasses?" Think about it, guys. They don't remember. They don't remember putting them on or taking them off or anything. So we need to supply that memory and equip them with the tools they need to have a better life. Nobody's in there? Yeah. People with dementia are there. In fact, they are creative, capable, and expressive, and have basic psychological needs that must be met. Her family wasn't sure that she could paint. Mom never really painted, but she used to bake. And I really think that she was making those little roses, like on all the wedding cakes and things like that, because she always did circles or icing. It was like she was doing icing. And you know, we gave all of the paintings to the family members, and they dispersed them out to all of the grandkids and great-grandkids, and that family could produce. So they had a lot of people, and she had a lot of artwork. But again, to look at her, people thought, oh, that's not really artwork. Nobody's in there anymore. What's the point? The point is it brought her joy, and it helped them through this disease too. Their needs just have to be met. This is the key. And the great thing about her is about 3 o'clock every day, she'd want to go meet her kids. But if we engaged her in like a baking activity, because that was her personal history, or this painting activity, she never wanted to go meet her kids. We had to do it at 2:45 and make it go till 3:15, 3:30, but she never got upset and wanted to go meet her kids. Another myth, people with dementia are the problem. We have tried everything, I quit. That is not in our vocabulary at Azura. There is always something more that we can try or a recommendation that we can give. The fact is, we are the problem. Typically, it is the caregiver's approach that causes the behavior, and we're the only one that can change. Our approach is the only thing that we have 100% control over. We cannot control this disease. We cannot control how it reacts or anything about this disease, but we can control ourselves. So this next part goes into communicating specifically with the disease process and thereby the person that is diagnosed with the disease. First of all, dementia affects how they interpret information. I mentioned we sound like the Peanuts teacher, ah-wah-wah. Yes, this is true. This is what we sound like to them. Or it takes in the information and completely jumbles it around. And as a result, how they express themselves. So I might have said to Rhiannon, "Would you like a turkey sandwich?" And she says, "I want to jump from the roof." Well then, I guess she doesn't want a turkey sandwich, does she? And what she's really saying, yes, with extra mayo. But it doesn't come out that way. So we have to really investigate what they're saying. Now, in the early stages, they have difficulty concentrating. They can't find the right words to come back on a conversation and follow it. They repeat questions. And as a result, they start to pull away socially. With my dad, he'd sit for the first cup of coffee with the guys group, then he'd get up and go sit in the car. Mom would get so frustrated because she's with her girls group and she wants to have like 4 cups of coffee. But she'd get up after 2 and go out with him. I couldn't understand what they were saying anyway. I didn't want to be there. He'd always say that. Looking back, yeah, he couldn't understand. And he couldn't keep up with the conversation. So rather than look stupid, it's better to just withdraw. In the middle stages, they often lose their train of thought when speaking. They can't find the right words. They lose loss of vocabulary. That little lady that was doing the painting back there, her name was Aza. I remember one of the caregivers coming out and she was like laughing so hard she was crying. And I said, "What is going on?" She goes, "I just tried to have Aza take a shower. And I said to her, 'Aza, let's go jump in the shower.' And Aza goes, 'Honey, I can't jump.' Just deadpan, because it's true. She's 90 some years old. She can't jump, right? And we think about that. It's not the LOLs and the OMGs. It's just in how we say things. Let's go to the bathroom. Well, I just did. That's not exactly what I was talking about, though. I wanted you to get up, walk to the door, sit on the toilet, you know, all that thing. Nope, you told me to go. Okay? So again, it's not necessarily slang, it's the vocabulary, really understanding. Substituting words that sound the same or inventing new words. My dad said to me one time, I want to go to the room where the water comes out of the ceiling. Shower, right? Yeah. So he couldn't get the word shower out, but he could get all those other ones. And another time he said to me, I need the thing that combs my hair. And it was the comb he was asking for, but he couldn't do it. They can't follow storylines in books or movies. That's why short, 30 minutes, short stories are better, devotions are better than the long books. And they use increased use of gestures to communicate, which is something that we can do back to them. So we're going to play charades. You guys ready? Ready for charades? Okay, fantastic. So if I'm doing this, it means eat. Okay. Yeah, this is wash. This is deodorant. I've been instructed, okay? Yeah. Yeah. Here's a news flash. Any hand movement from like here to belly button height, bathroom, they gotta go. Okay? Or they just have and they're trying to, you know, get it out kind of thing. Okay? Chair, so sit down, right? We need to do a lot more of that, by the way. And a lot more of pull up a chair, sit down, and have them come sit by us. Okay? They will mimic us. So if we stand up, they'll stand up. It's another one. So just a few things to think about. Again, here's another one. In the early stages, I can say to Rhiannon, come with me. In the middle stages, I can say, come with me. In the late stages, I need to say, come with me. Because again, their vision is right here. So the bigger I am, the more apt that they're actually going to understand what I'm saying. In the late stages, typically only simple conversations and instructions. They lose the personalized vocabulary of spouse or others in their world. Maybe everyone becomes mom or dad. They often vocalize about nothing, and that sometimes freaks people out. But think about it. If all you could see was right here, eventually wouldn't you just start to hum? Or it's a soothing mechanism. It says, I'm still here. I'm not alone. That's normal. They only see me in the exact moment directly in front of them, and they will recognize nonverbal commands or touches. You always, though, want to introduce yourself before you just reach out and touch them, because you can still startle them. In the virtual dementia tour, if you notice when I took you out, I approached from the front. Because if I would have approached from the back and put my hand on your shoulder, what would you guys have done? Jumped. Really big. Okay? That's a normal startle response. So if it's normal, why do we approach from the back? We should never, ever approach our residents from the back. Always from the front. To overcome the communication barriers, the first one is know their history, hence the quality of life profile. All of our residents have quality of life profiles. We need to be reading them. In addition, we break that quality of life profile down and put up a resident welcome plaque outside or on their door that gives you 5 to 6 things to engage and know about that resident. We also then take it down even more and say, what are the top 10 ways to engage me, and put that in the huddle book. And the first 4 to 5 are filled out by quality of life coordinator with more of what's in their quality of life profile, and the rest comes from you guys. So Paula had a stroke on her left side, get her up on the right. That's something to put down on that top 10 tip sheet. In order to get her to take a shower, don't tell her till she's in there, and sing her Amazing Grace. Those are things that will help us better care for our residents, as well as enhance their quality of life. We truly want them to live, guys, not just exist. But it takes us using all the tools we have to make sure we know them. Because let's face it, it's more than just a care plan. We have to know them. And our care plans do typically have some of that personalization in them, but we got to read it and then retain it, of course. That's the thing is, on your shift, when you got a new resident, start quizzing each other. What do you know about her? What can we take away from this? How can we help them right now? Don't wait for a week or 2 weeks. Start immediately. Know their strengths, respect them, do not be afraid or frustrated, do not confront. Again, don't say no, and do not demand. I don't ever want to hear, you can't have your dessert till you eat everything on your plate. I'm not taking you to the bathroom until you take your medication. Don't do that. Just like it breaks our heart when we hear families say, Mom, if you can't remember my name, I'm not coming to visit. We find that wholly disrespectful, right? What we're doing in those other 2 instances is on the same level. And remember, it is the disease. Remember this slide, guys. It's on those bad days when you just don't get it or you feel frustrated. Remember this slide. They did not choose it. They do not want it. And if they could have any way to not have it, they would. And they would also thank you. Some verbal approaches through MOSAIC. First of all, don't argue. Seriously, think about it. Who needs to win? You or them? It doesn't matter if they're saying that the sky is purple. Okay? Let them win.